Welcome to Hope Lives here this afternoon. This is Apostle Dolores Kendrick, and just excited just to come to you with just a new series I want to just share with you. I'm hoping that you're staying safe and that you're having a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. And I know the weather has changed and all, so we want to stay warm and just stay just stay safe. I want to just talk with you a little about an area that a topic that seems to be coming up a lot and have over the years, but just in the next few weeks, I'm going to give you some, you might call them keys of wisdom. And how do you, in other words, how do you get out of a rut? Like when you find yourself just stuck. Repeated situations you find yourself always in, and they're not necessarily generational, but it's choices. And how do you bounce back after a financial crisis? How do you get over anger and hurt experience in relationships? And so we want to talk about that for just the complete month of February and maybe into March. But we have a tendency to say, well, just get over it. Your friends will say, man, just get over it. Hey, girl, just get over it. Just pray. And although this is necessary, but I believe there are some steps that will also help you. Just some practical things which I believe will help you to bounce back. Sometimes we deal so in the spiritual part that we forget that there are some things that we must do, just practical things, that you can begin to live rather than exist. Many people today are just literally existing from day to day. So, why don't we start with the pain that comes from relationships, the abuse, the rejection, and then later the anger and the revenge, and all that is attached to these situations. I have been asked the question more times than I can actually count. Why do I attract some people? Well, why do I attract like the same people always? People who always use me, people who always take advantage of me, people that always end up hurting me that I trust. What is it about me that I have repeated things that happen in my life and I look at others and they don't seem to have those situations, which when we look at others, we can never judge what they're going through or the pain that they're having because the outward sometimes is really deceptive. But I found one thing: the most positive we are, the more positive we are, the more positive we will receive. And also, that is in the reversal: the more negative we are, the more negative we are going to attract. In other words, love attracts love, doesn't it? Bad temper, grumpiness attracts bad temperament. Passion attracts passion. Rage attracts rage. First, let's define what being positive does and doesn't mean for you in the terms of your attitude and behavior. And we want to talk about that in this series. But we cover up really good, don't we? Only to be shocked at the person as a relationship grows. And then emotions are involved, and you wonder what happened. Why did they change? Or, well, they really never changed. They just needed the time for all of what was within them to come up as they relaxed in the relationship. And these things were exposed. So they dropped their guard and stopped hiding. And the real deal, the real of them, came forth. Quoting from, I don't know who actually originally said this, but I thought it was very appropriate for here. It said, while no one deliberately seeks out someone who is closed, negative, and needy, if this is you, this is what you will attract in your life. If you want to a loving relationship, then you need to do the work of learning how to make emotional responsibilities. And I agree, I totally agree with this. I really do. Many times we feel because a person is in a particular level of business or a status or a profession, they're perfect for me. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this particular person. So I'm looking at the outside many times. But sometimes we do not know what is really within the person. Unresolved issues could be there. They could be successful business men or women and very wealthy people, yet could be very negative, hurt and abused and angry and selfish and have issues that they are dealing with that they just cover up with just giving their all to their business or you know how we can cover. So these things have never been dealt with, the pain that's there. So you get attracted sometime to what you saw on the outside, what you listened to, from what you wanted many times to hear. And I want to say this is really true. We You can say something. I've heard people tell me certain things people have said to them, and their interpretation is totally different. We need to listen to what people say and take it exactly, what they're saying when they express certain things. Because we get deceived many times, and then again, we people can say things to us that are pleasing and appealing to what we want to hear, and then we take it and run with it. But only for us to get together and that true person, that true them, you might say, rises up and you begin to see them as they really are. And why were you attracted to them in the first place? So, as said before, you attract who you really are inside. So, this means that we might need to work on ourselves, doesn't it? And find out what is in me. What issues do I have in me that is not resolved? That caused the person that caused them to attract themselves to me in the first place. By the time you realize the relationship is not working, you've already developed a soul tie many times with the person. You become sexually active, which binds you to that person, even though it is an abusive relationship, which leads you away from your purpose in God. And when you get involved in a sexual relationship with someone, then your soul is involved, and there's a bond and there's a tie that's connected because part of you are in them and they in you. So Genesis 27, remember Jacob, he was a deceitful, cunning, selfish man. He deceived his father Isaac and later manipulated, in crossing cattle, to get the best stock. And his father-in-law Laban, uh, he also deceived him. What you give generally is what you receive. But look at this, the wife he married. They were attracted together. He loved her. He loved Rachel, but Rachel also had a deceptiveness in her. She had manipulation in her. They were attracted together. Rachel lied and deceived her father over a stolen idol. And you can read in Genesis 27 the story if you would like to. But when he came to a place called Jabbok, that's where he came face to face. He was going to meet his brother going back home. And now he felt his brother was coming to kill him of the deceptiveness that he had stole his brother's birthright and deceived his dad. And now he's headed home. He's fearful and he goes before the Lord in prayer. And this is when God dealt with him. And you might say he looked into the mirror of God and saw himself. When the question was asked, who are you? What is your name? And he had to admit that it was deception, it was cunningness, it was manipulation. And so we have to examine ourselves because we attract who and what we are. And remember that. This many times you say, well, this, I don't get this because I'm looking for someone other than who I am. I'm looking for someone that is in a different status or a different, more influential than I am. You best to take your time. We rush into things too quick and allow the Lord to release his discernment that you might really, really know what it is that you're attracting and why. If you have pain, if you have issues, if you have hurt inside of you that have not been resolved, you will attract the very same person, and you will not see it many times until the relationship is built. We're going to talk about this, and I think this is going to be a blessing to you. And we're going to really get into this, and we're going to pray, and I want you to pray that the Lord will just reveal to you who you are. If you're just continually having relationships and it's always the same thing, always the same type of person, always relieving you with pain, I want you to just check out yourself. I want you just to continue to listen to this series because I think it's going to really open up to you. And we're only going to give you just a little, about 10 or 12 minutes each time we meet. But just be ready just to receive. And I believe this is going to be a blessing to you. Amen. Well, God bless you. And I will just hold tight. And I will see you next time. And we will continue on these series.